Welcome back to this video. This video will see DHCP using layer 3 switch. So as you can see, we have this topology here. So on the left side we have a router and two PCs, and this is going to be our VLAN 10 and network is going to be 1.0. This is going to be VLAN 20 on the right side. Network is going to be 2.0, right? So these devices here is going to be under VLAN 10. This router is strictly our DNS server. Okay, DNS server. So what happens now? We'll just follow these steps to make it very easy. These steps are almost the same as last few videos we've been doing. Some basic commands we need to provide. So number one, it says create VLAN 10 and 20. So we need to go to the switch and create these VLAN 10 and 20. So how to do this? To create VLAN 10, simply say VLAN 10. To create VLAN 20, VLAN 20. Now they have been created. We can verify that. Do show VLAN brief. Here you can see VLAN 10, VLAN 20. No ports assigned yet. In fact, that's the next step we need to do. So we are done with number one. We created the VLANs. And number two, move ports. What this means, these ports here, F01, F02, F03, these ports we need to move them to VLAN 10. So let's do that. We can use the range command, interface range FA01-3 switchport mode access to make it an access port. Switchport access VLAN 10. Now we have to do the same thing for this side. This side is we have 4 and 5. So we can use the same command, interface range FA04-5 switchport mode access to make it an access port. Switchport access VLAN 20. Now we have moved the ports. Number 3 says configure gateways. So this being layer 3 switch, we cannot configure gateways on the physical interface, right? We have to do it on the virtual interface. That's why we have created these VLANs. So we go under VLAN 10 and we need to configure the gateway there, and then we need to go under VLAN 20 and configure the gateway for VLAN 20. So let's do that. Interface VLAN 10, this is for VLAN 10, okay? IP address 192.168.1.100 255.255.255.0. Now for VLAN 20, we interface VLAN 20 IP address 192.168.2.100. I'm giving 100 just for easiness. You can provide 254, something like that, to make it easy if you want to. But I'm going with 100. 255.255.255.0. Now what we need to do, we are done with number 3, right? Yeah, configure gateways. Before we go into number 4, let's do one more thing. As you might know, this is a layer 3 switch. On layer 3 switches, routing is not enabled by default, so we need to enable it. To enable it, the command is very simple, just say IP routing. Done. Now the only step remaining here is the IP helper address, which we'll do it momentarily. For the time being, we need to go to number 4, and create DHCP pool. So that means we need to go to this server. First, we'll bring the interface up, G000, no, shut, and we need to provide an IP address there, IP address 192.168. You can go with the first address 1.1.255.255.255.0. Now we'll start with the DHCP configuration. We'll do it for VLAN 10. So we need to create a pool for VLAN 10. So IP DHCP pool. Pool name we can simply say VLAN 10. Okay. And the default router is going to be our gateway for VLAN 10, which is 192.168.1.100. DNS server, let's say 192.168.1.50. Okay. And we need to provide the IP default gateway also for this router to communicate with the switch. For this router, the default gateway is the VLAN gateway address, so that is the 1.100 address. So we need to say we need to exit here. So IP default gateway 192.168.1.100. Now for the exclusion, we can exclude the DNS server, which is 192.168.1.50. The gateway 100, right, 1.100, and this interface G000 is 1.1. And if you want to exclude some more, we can say from 1.2 starting and ending 192.168.1.10. So it will start from 11. And some moments back I said this router is strictly for DNS server purpose only, so we can disable routing. This is optional, so we'll just do it. It's just to disable it, we just say no IP routing. Now we'll do it for VLAN 20 side. So IP DHCP pool VLAN, pool name is VLAN 20, default router 192.168.2.100, right, for VLAN 20. DNS server we don't need to provide because that is not the one helping us to communicate with the server. It is going to be the IP helper address, and we have given it for the 10, but for 20 we don't need to provide DNS server. Default router is enough. Oh, network, very important. Network is 192.168.2.0 255.255.255.0, right? And did I miss network here for VLAN 10? IP DHCP VLAN 10 default router. Yes, I did miss that. So I need to go back here for under VLAN 10 and provide network. But we'll finish this one first. Okay. So 2.0, and next one is exclusion. If you want to exclude some addresses, so we can exclude the gateway IP DHCP excluded address 192.168.2.100, and you can exclude IP DHCP excluded address 192.168.2.1 to ending 192.168.2.10. So it will start from 11. Now we just need to provide the IP helper address on the switch, but before that I need to go back to VLAN 10 and provide network. IP DHCP pool VLAN 10 network 192.168.1.0 255.255.250. Done. We are done with the Number 4, create DHCP pools and complete DHCP configuration. Number 5 is provide important command on this layer 3 switch. But before that, we'll verify whether these PCs are getting DHCP addresses. It will get it easily. This is default to static. When you come here, you need to click on this DHCP. Because they are all under VLAN 10, so they're successful. No issues there, right? It started with 1.11 here. It will be 1.12, right? Now if I go here, will it get it? It will not get it. It's going to fail. APIPA is going to be used. You can see it's failed. And why is it failing? The reason is when these PCs, when they send the request to this switch doesn't know where this DNS server is, right? Because we haven't configured that IP helper address. So therefore, this is stuck here. This is being dropped here. The request is not forwarding to the next hop. So that is why we need to configure this IP helper address. And where do we configure IP helper address? We need to go under the interface VLAN 20. There is no physical interface, right? So we need to go under the virtual VLAN 20 interface VLAN 20 IP helper address. What address? This next hop is the G0001.1 192.168.1.1. Now if I go back to these PCs, they should get it. Static DHCP, and it will start from 2 dot something. Now it's successful. Sometimes you have to do it twice. 2.13. We have excluded until 2.10, I think, but it started from 2.13. 11 and 12 is not being used. 2.14. Oh, now this one is getting 2.11. So now both are getting the DHCP addresses from this server. That means our lab is a success. And hope you understood the concept by using this layer 3 switch. It is almost the same thing like the last few videos, but the difference is with this being the layer 3 switch, we have to create VLANs and move the ports and then provide gateways. So those are going to be the difference in this lab. If you have any questions, you can ask me down below. Other than that, if these videos are helping you in any ways, please give me a thumbs up. We'll see some other concept in the next video. Until then, stay tuned. Thank you and good day.